Hello and welcome to the final whistle with me, Daniel Waterson, looking back at Saturday's 1-1 draw with Ross County and Dingwall. Coming up, James and myself discuss the match. We have post-match reaction from Neil Lennon and Ollie Shaw. But first, let's remind ourselves of the action with Hibs TV's Cliff Pike and John Stevens.
Fontaine picks up the scraps though for Ross County. Out on this near side now to Schalk. Tries to take on Effie Ambrose, he does so, gets the ball in nicely. Chance here for County. Can't get the shot away, Billy Mackay. He does now. The ball in the back of the net. Schalk wasn't closed down enough. The cross was played in. Billy Mackay seemed to get the ball stuck under his feet, and I think in doing so wrong-footed a couple of Hibs defenders, John, and he then got the break of the ball and slotted it beyond Offie Marciano, and Ross County have the lead after 28 minutes.
Yeah, not closing down Schalk out over here on the left-hand side of the park is criminal. That's what's led to the goal. I don't think the defence in the middle can be faulted because Billy Mackay has slipped on the ball. He's almost landed on top of it. It's just sort of like hidden it. He was the first one to get up. He knew exactly where the ball was and was able to just shimmy one way and fire it beyond Marciano. He was only about 5 yards out as well.
So it's all eyes on Alan Muir, the fourth official. Hibs get possession. Canberry finds Stevenson. He'll play it to Hanlon on this near side. Hanlon will find McGinn. McGinn whips the ball towards the back post. Boyle wins it, knocks it down for Whittaker. Whittaker tries to find Swanson and does. Edge of the 18-yard box. Lovely ball through. Chance here. Martin Boyle knocks it back. Ollie Shaw scores! And Hibs have the equaliser. A fine finish from Ollie Shaw. Great ball through from Danny Swanson. And Ollie Shaw finds the bottom left-hand corner of the net, and that's no more than Hibs deserve. It's been all Hibs in the second half, and in fairness, John, it would have been a travesty if Hibs had gone down the road with nothing. Not that the game's over yet, but in the final minute of the 90, Ollie Shaw brings Hibs back on to level terms.
Slight Easter Road, seagulls in the background,
yep.
But it's a 1-1 draw with Ross County, and I think with the late equaliser, it's safe to say that would have been an absolute travesty if Hibs came away from here without at least a point.
Yeah, I think a draw was probably a fair result, to be honest. County, while they did not look like a particularly good team, looked very organised, very structured and very rigid. Thought defensively they were excellent for the majority of that game. Liam Fontaine had one of his best games I've actually seen him play in or out of a Hibs shirt, annoyingly. The amount of sort of pressing and probing we did, and the amount of chances and half chances that we created, we deserved something from that game. It's disappointing to only get a point, but I think probably the right result in the circumstances.
Yeah. I mean we've just played the bottom three of the bottom four maybe in the last 7 days. I think what we've seen from Ross County today was probably what we were expecting from all three matches, and you can see the confidence bounce that they obviously had from that Thistle win, because they matched us formation wise, and certainly up until it went completely gung-ho in the last 20 minutes, they certainly matched us for effort. It was a very dogged performance.
It's testament to the work that Stuart Kettlewell and Stephen Ferguson have done in what is a relatively short space of time. County were very sort of disciplined today. I think that's probably the best words to use with them. There's very little strain from positions, particularly at the back. Guys like Fontaine and Harry Suter, who must be about 7 feet tall, it's absolutely enormous. I know there's that sort of joke that they put on Twitter where there's the picture of him where his head's sort of been cut off just after he signed, but he was enormous, and they were good up against the sort of Canberry and Jamie McLaren in the first half. Got no change out of them at all. Having said that, they did look sort of a little bit frail from set pieces. There was a couple of balls across the box, but they did not look particularly comfortable in dealing with them. In the end, we do get a goal with the last touch of the game, could have won it. I think it's hard to say at the moment whether it's 2 points dropped or a point gained. It'd be interesting to hear what Neil Lennon's thoughts are.
Yeah, we're watching him. He's about 15 feet away from us now, getting interviewed by Cliff. I think given kind of the last minute goal, he'll be content with the point, but we'll take it right back to the beginning. One change for Hibs. No surprise to see John McGinn straight into the team. He replaced Stephen Whittaker in the midfield. Hibs go 3-5-2, and in the opening 10 minutes, to me, it looked like it was a really positive start. John McGinnon, as early as the 3rd minute, plays a fantastic long ball, as we're so used to. And if Martin Boyle takes a better first touch, he's clean through on goal, and that could have been a dream start.
Yeah, he just gets the ball sort of cut underneath his feet. You could see sort of the advantage that John back in the midfield gave us. I mean, as it does, in any game, to be able to have John McGinnon in midfield. Maybe sort of one of the sort of criticisms of Martin Boyle this season is that his first touch or his decision making in the final third's not always been dead on. That's not to say he's not had a fantastic season, because he has, but yeah, it's one of those where if we go in and we score that, then it's a fantastic start for us, but it doesn't quite happen. Yeah,
and I made the mistake of, in about the 7th or 8th minute, I turned to you and I said that if Hibs scored an early goal, I could see us going on and winning this by 3 or 4. From about that minute onwards, County really started to shore things up. They settled into the game. They fought for every ball, but it was Hibs making the chances. Flo had there was a Stevenson free kick. Canberra looked like he was completely unmarked from 6 yards out. His header, there must have been a real last ditch effort, which is kind of was Ross County's day. Everything was so kind of, without using the word dogged again, but everything was such a determination to get to every last ball. Ambrose has a curling effort. He goes for it, something really special with the outside his boot.
Effie Ambrose, what a man.
Yeah,
really what a man.
I think even for Effie, I was surprised to see him try an effort with the outside his boot from the edge of the box.
From the edge of the box on an angle. It's just what a guy.
After that, I think we took a couple of shots from distance. McGinn had one, Allen had one, probably trying to test out Scott Fox, who's not had the best of seasons. He's been dropped a couple of times, only for the deputy keeper to also have a couple of shockers. He was fine today, but it was all Hibs, and then out of nowhere, Ross County. We could hear Lennon shouting at Effie Ambrose to close the man down. I can't remember who it was. It's Schalke that puts the cross in. Schalke gets way too much space to put the ball in. Billy Mackay, the chance looked like it was gone, sort of similar to McLaren against Hearts. The chance looked like it was gone 2 or 3 times, but it was a fight all over from Ross County that he finally picks it up and scores a goal.
It was the sort of classic, and again, I don't mean any disrespect to Ross County when I say this, but it was the classic goal for a team that is down there and fighting, where Billy Mackay's had to scrap for the ball. He does. It's not a particularly clean effort, but it ends up in the bottom corner anyway. And I think at that stage you were looking at it and thinking, well, here we go again. It was pretty sort of turgid stuff. And I mean, as soon as Ross County scored, they were, not backs to the wall, but it was right. Everybody stand in their own 5-yard space. Nobody move. Everybody just remain in the same position. Everybody stay totally structured, and it was hard to break down at times. Max Milburn, I thought at left back against Martin Boyle was really impressive. I think Harry Suter ended up getting man of the match today from the stadium announcer, but I thought Milburn was by far County's best player. Like I said, I don't know a lot about him, but it looks like a fairly young guy, and based on that performance, perhaps one for the future for Ross County. But yeah, it's at that stage when nothing's quite gone for you today. Nothing's quite gone for you during the game that you're thinking, are we going to get anything from this?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, probably from then up until the goal, Hibs only looked like scoring from set pieces. In terms of open play, County just were shutting everything down. 5 minutes before half time, from one of those set pieces, Paul Hanlon has a free header at the back post. He heads it downwards. I don't think he realises how much space and time he has, and that was the first moment of the match. But probably about 41, 42 minutes in, where I thought, we're looking at one of these days, aren't we?
Yeah, it's one of those where, kind of looking back, I think he probably wouldn't have gone in with his head as the chance falls to him again. It does. I mean, Fox is stranding. It's one of those again where if it drops just an inch more, it's in, because the keeper's not getting there. But there's a few moments like that, half chances and poor touches where you just thought, just not at the races today. But we kept going, and in the end we do get something from the game, and that deserves credit as well.
More reaction with James shortly, but let's hear the post-match thoughts of Neil Lennon speaking with Cliff.
Neil, you never get anything but 100% effort from your players, and that would have been a travesty if we weren't taking something from that game today.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that we haven't won it, because we had clear-cut chances, especially first half. With 2 headers that we should bury. and then County have scored with one attack. So what we've done is we've given them encouragement to stay in the game, and it was a long afternoon, which we felt it might have been on what was a difficult pitch again. But I'm delighted with the character and, you know, never say a day attitude of the players at the minute. And they thoroughly got what they deserve. We deserve more, but in the end, it could be an important point.
You made some changes there towards the end of the game. You brought on Danny Swanson and Ollie Shaw together, and they combined to get the equaliser for you. Yeah, well, that's what you want from your subs. You know, we were a little bit sort of tippy-toppy at times, which is just the nature of the players, you know, but it's difficult. And the pitch is tight and bumpy, and we just felt we needed to freshen things up, and we gambled a little bit, but at this stage of the season, you got to go for it. And we don't know how the other results are going, but we didn't want to lose the game, obviously. So we give ourselves not a mountain to climb, but we made it difficult for ourselves. Their goal is poor. We should stop the cross. There's two, you know, got them on the touchline, got to stop the cross, and they get a break and they take it. But after that, I'm disappointed that we, you know, didn't get an early 1 second half or even go on to win the game, because we thoroughly deserved to win it. There was only one team trying to win the game out there. And I think the second half we were pretty much camped in Ross County's half. You know, that told the story itself. Yeah, I mean, it was just total domination, and a lot of second balls that just missed chances. You know, balls flying around the box, and you're starting to think, is it going to be our day? But you know, they kept plugging away. And it's a great finish from Ollie, a great ball from Danny. So they can be really pleased with the contribution. But I'm not happy with the way we at times approached the first half, particularly. The game itself, you said that you mentioned the pitch there. You know, we'd like to get the ball out, try and pass it. Looking at the pitch now, a lot of bobbles out there. That made that a wee bit more difficult. It's awful. It's awful. Anyway, you can't use the pitch as an excuse. It's not an excuse. I mean, Boyley's in first 5 minutes. You know, normally his touch is true, and he should really be taking care of that. And then the one Paul misses, you know, I don't know how he's missed it. You know, the header. Anyway, I'm pleased we're creating chances on a difficult pitch, and I'm pleased we're showing great character at this stage of the season to keep going, and we're 3 points off second place. That's fantastic, fantastic, and we've got 5 cup finals to look forward to now. Up against a team today though, that are battling for their lives. They were never going to make it easy for us. You know, credit to them. They rolled their sleeves up and got stuck in as well. Maybe a bit too stuck in. Well, again, Cliff, we're talking about people kicking John McGinn. Two in a matter of seconds, just kicking them. Yep. And all Bobby can do, to be fair, is book them, but it really does. It's not football, that. And again, there's no intention to play the ball. It's just to stop the opponent, and it's called taking one for the team. But you know, John's a strong boy, but he's going to get hurt one of these days. He could damage ankle ligaments, or he could dislocate it. It's just not football for me. So we now look forward to the split. We don't know how it's going to pan out, who we're going to have, where we're going to play them. But as you said, 5 cup finals to look forward to. Yeah, brilliant. You know, hopefully, just whatever way the fixtures go, we know we're going to have Celtic and Kelly. Hopefully we'll get full houses for that, and that'll, you know, really get the juices flowing for the supporters as well. They've gone home happy today. I get that. I'm disappointed that we haven't won it, but yeah, they're seeing their team play for them, you know, and we had a great away support today, and I'm thankful for that.
Again, the second half Hibs come out really strongly, but I was kind of surprised, maybe not the word, but when the second half started, Ross County had 6-7 men behind the ball at all times. They just sat in so deep, and from the opening minute you could see how they were planning to try and see this game out. There was another dangerous one where it comes in, I think it was Routis, I can't even really remember the chance, but is it Allen puts a cross in, and again it looks like there's a Hibs defender waiting to touch it in, and it somehow ends up out for a corner again. Yeah, there was a free kick sort of right at the start of the first half where Allen puts it in, McGregor's header gets blocked, that's and then Canberry can't sort of force it in at the back post because there's about 5 Ross County players all trying to kick the ball at once. It's like a battlefield, they're all just on the ground, just sticking the limbs out. It is, and I mean it was surprising, I think, you know, over the past couple of games playing against the likes of Hamilton and Partick Thistle, where we probably expected a performance like that from those two teams, and it didn't really happen. We didn't really get it from them. That, I think, felt like we were playing up against a team who are fighting for their lives at the bottom of the table, and I mean you could see that. You know, they've put 11 players in the park there that care, and 11 players, you know, who are willing to go out and throw their bodies on the line and fight for, you know, their right to sort of stay in the league. I really thought you were going to say fight for the right to party. I thought I was going to say that as well. I wasn't sure my brain was going to go with that, but
Yeah, and that was basically the second half in a nutshell. Was County throwing everything in the way of the ball, and us coming forward in waves of attack. In the end, we ended up changing the shape twice.
Changed twice, yeah. I think Jamie McLaren, he came close from a header. It was probably the only time we really seen him today. Not long after that, Stephen Whittaker comes on for him. The formation stays the same, but Stevenson goes into the midfield, Whittaker goes to right wing back, McGinn goes to the left wing back, Martin Boyle goes up top, and that's another thing where you need to give Ross County some credit that was such a dramatic change with only 55 minutes an hour gone, if even that.
Yeah, and I think, even when we were sitting here, I think we understood that, or we could see that a change in formation or a change in personnel was needed. Not sure if that was necessarily the change we would have made, but again, like you say, County deserve a bit of credit for forcing us into making that. Maybe shouldn't have been necessary at that point for us to have to change it, but 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, we change it again.
Yep.
Because it just wasn't working. But I suppose that's kind of one of the benefits of having the squad that we have, is that you're able to kind of explore 3-4 different combinations until you sort of find the right one, and we did in the end today. But it was a long sort of slog before we got to that stage.
Before we went in the 4-4-2, Whittaker had one again from a set piece. Another corner comes in. Whittaker goes for the acrobatic effort, goes over the bar.
That would have been impressive. That
would have been alright, yeah. And then it's at that point, Danny Swanson, Ollie Shaw come on, Effie Ambrose, Scott Allen go off, and it's just 4-4-2. Ollie Shaw's, I think his first touch is a great flick onto Flo Canberry, who again, 7 or 8 yards out, looks like he has loads of space, and it's another kind of desperate last minute block, and I think that was about 10 minutes left, and I just thought I could just pack up my stuff and go now. This is not going to happen.
Yeah, I think at that stage we're thinking 1-0 is just going to be the final score. I think that one where Shaw flicks it on, the ball's maybe sort of about half a yard too high for Canberry, and Fox kind of gets something on it, but it's not a convincing punch. Danny Swanson puts the ball back across goal and it's deflected over a corner. We have another few that are sort of deflected wide, and one that goes wide and the corner gets given, and then it gets switched to a goal kick about a second later.
Right,
totally bizarre decision.
That's the one thing that really annoys me about. By all means, be overruled by the referee, but why do they need to change the flag? Like, just stick with your convictions. If you think it's a corner, give the corner.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah, don't just change. It's so frustrating. It's such a little thing to get wound up about. But I think Hanlon then has another header over the bar. The setup changes again. We go Marciano 0-0 the rest.
Yeah.
And it's just, and it made sense to going long. Always sounds like a desperate tactic. But Hibs must have won about 80% of the headers in the Ross County half.
It was about 80% in the first balls, and then I think about 20% in the second balls. It was that initial header was fine. Every time the flick on went into the box, there was 5 Ross County players all clearing the ball at once.
Yeah, and something had to give eventually. Yeah. And let's not lie and pretend we know exactly what the build up to this goal was.
No idea.
It bounces about. Danny Swanson plays a really nice through ball. I thought it was Canberry to the point
it was Canberry at one
I
point.
put on Hibs Facebook it was Flo Canberry. Apologies if anyone was confused by that until I changed it. I think the Hibs end thought it was Flo Canberry because we got the rendition of the Canberry song for the remainder of the game. But
would you like to give us a rendition of that on this podcast?
I will not. No. But in the end, it's Ollie Shaw that puts it away.
Yeah.
And it's a very composed finish from a youngster that looks dangerous every time he comes on the pitch.
Yeah, driven it. That's 2 goals against Ross County this season as well. You should tell we're playing Ross County every week.
Would they have only scored against Ross County and Celtic then?
No, he scored against.
Well, he scored against Hearts.
He did score against Hearts, which it's probably best to leave that one there, to be honest, okay. In case we get a touchline ban in the SFA or something. Yeah, it's a good finish. I mean, he absolutely drives it past Scott Fox, and it was that stage where something had to give, and it's a really good finish by Ollie Shaw when it comes. And after that, I think just while they're taking kick-off again, the board goes up for 4 minutes, and at that point the away end's absolutely elated. They're up for it, and it was like a siege for 4 minutes.
Yeah, it was an absolute doing. It was so frustrating in the sense that about half of that 4 minutes was us just trying to get the ball sitting right, to get the ball into the box. You knew we were going to get that one chance to win it, and it comes with the very last touch of the game. Now, I thought the moment Dan McGregor headed it, I thought it was away, I thought it was in.
Yeah.
And should he have scored it? Is it a bad miss, or has he done well just to get to it?
I'd like to see it back. My instinct says it's unlucky, I saw somebody on Twitter say that it might have hit the outside the post as well, in which case it's very unlucky. Part of me still thinks he should have scored, because I mean, if it's, you know, an inch inside the post, it's in, because Scott Fox is absolutely rooted to the spot. There's no county player on that post. I mean, you could see Darren McGregor himself at the end of the game. You know, him and Paul Hanlon looked absolutely distraught. Yeah. So I think that's maybe an indicator he knows himself that that should have gone in.
And it would have been, I think the word scenes would have been.
It would have been absolute
McGregor scored the last touch
in the away end, but
celebrations that would only be matched when Marvin Bartley scores his first goal,
which we assume will be happening at some point soon, and will be spectacular when it does.
Yeah. So it finishes 1 each. Kind of can't see any more on the game, I suppose, but that leaves us going into the split. We don't know what the fixtures are as of now, but we're 3 off second place with Aberdeen losing at Tynecastle. Rangers won 4-0, I think, at Ibrox. Yeah. We're 7 ahead of Kilmarnock in 4th now, because they've won at Firhill. They play Accies next week with their game in hand, so they could potentially cut the gap to 4.
Yeah.
So it's a hell of a run-in that we're looking at.
It is, but I think we said it on the last podcast, it's always better to be in that mix than outside it. At the same time, you know, it's going to be fairly tense, you feel. 5 games that we've got to play, they're all games that you could see us taking something from, but at the same time they're all games you could see going against us. We certainly shouldn't have anything to fear from, you know, the likes of Hearts and the likes of Kilmarnock and Aberdeen, but in the same sort of frustrating way, you know, we'll play Aberdeen away where we haven't won this season. We play Hearts away where we haven't won this season. We haven't beaten Killie at home this season, and we play them at home.
Yeah.
We haven't beaten Celtic at home this season. We play them at home. We haven't beaten a Celtic at all this season. But
we should be playing Rangers at home.
We should be playing Rangers at home, but it looks like we're going to be playing them away, which, you know, we've won twice there already this season. We have our target in mind. It's all about sort of staying focused till the end of the season so that we can achieve that. And you know, we shouldn't really have anything to fear from any of the teams in the top 6. It's going to be a tense run-in, but it's going to be exciting, and like I say, it's always better to be inside than outside of it.
And to put you on the spot, where are Hibs finishing come the end of the season?
Definitely in the top 6.
And now let's hear from the goal scorer, Ollie Shaw, speaking after the match.
Ollie, a hard-fought point there today against a team battling for their lives. You were delighted to get on and score.
Yeah, obviously as a striker it's always good to get on and score the goal. I thought the boys deserved something before I came on. We were peppering their goal and we had chances first half and it just wasn't falling for us with scrappy balls in the box. But yeah, I was happy to come on and make influence and score a goal. Yeah.
We said that the manager brought on Danny Swanson and yourself at the same time, and the two of you combined to get the equaliser. So it vindicates his decision. But you boys will be delighted to have proved them right as well.
Yeah, obviously if you're on the bench, you want to be in that starting 11, so you've got a point to prove at every point in training and in the game. So when you come on and you do well, it's always good. Yeah.
And as a striker, obviously scoring goals is what you thrive on. You do that, you put yourself in the manager's thoughts, and again, you know, you'll be hoping that you can force your way into the starting lineup rather than just a seat on the bench.
Yeah, obviously it's about being patient for myself. Obviously we've got Jamie and Flo scored a hat-trick the other day, and Jamie's been scoring goals, so it's about me being patient. But getting a goal there obviously puts me a step in the right direction, obviously, to try and get in that starting 11. Yeah.
It must be frustrating though, playing against, you know, sort of 2 sort of banks of 4, a bank of 5 and a bank of 4. No space, no real way to kind of try and work yourself into space. How hard is it in these types of games?
It's hard, obviously, it's cramped in the box. We were putting balls in the box and it's just coming back out as waves of attack. There's not much space in there, and obviously it's difficult for you to get shots away. Maybe we could see the goal fell to me and I just took a swing at it and it's gone in the back of the net, but maybe that's the luck we needed in that moment, because it was a tough game for us. Yeah.
I think over the piece, we spent the entire second half camped in Ross County's half. The boys would have been really disappointed to go back down the road with nothing at all from that game.
I obviously would have been disappointed if we didn't get anything out of that game, but also disappointed we didn't go with 3 points, because I felt we deserved the 3 points. Obviously we had plenty of chances. They maybe have one attack and they get a goal, and but that's football, I suppose. We get a goal, we get a point, and we'll go back up the road happy.
As I said to the manager, Ross County are battling for their lives at the bottom of the table. You know, they're not going to go out there and make it easy for us.
No, definitely not. Obviously they've got their own game plan of trying to stay in the division, and it seems to be working for them recent weeks. So it was always going to be a hard game coming up here, but unfortunately we didn't get the 3 points, but we'll be happy with going away with a point. Yeah.
They did have a big lad called Fontaine in the middle of their defence. Not too bad a game for them today.
I thought Font's played well. Obviously, he helped me a lot when I was a youngster coming through, so he's a great guy. And then I'm happy for him that he's playing here and playing regularly. Yeah.
And now we move on to what the manager describes as 5 cup finals. We don't know who will be playing. Well, we know who will be playing. We don't know where we'll be playing them or when we'll be playing them. But these 5 games against the likes of Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen, Hearts, Kilmarnock, massive games to look forward to.
Huge games. Obviously, the fans will be looking forward to them. We're looking forward to them. You know. So obviously, there's a 2-week break. I think it is until the split, and then so we'll see what happens there. We'll have a nice wee break. We'll recover. We'll get ourselves going again, and we'll be ready for 5 big games.
So that'll do us for this week's episode. Subscribe now to Radio Hibs through SoundCloud or iTunes to ensure you never miss a show. Extended highlights from Saturday are now available, and indeed all this season's other games, as well as a huge archive of other classic matches, all on Hibs TV. Until next time, my thanks to James Delaney as always for joining me. Thank you for listening, and join us next time.